One more Cisco proprietary protocol we have, VLAN trunking protocol, that is VTP, and also we avoid using this protocol as well. Okay, why? First of all, let's discuss, then I'll tell you why. See, VLAN trunking protocol or your VTP is a Cisco proprietary protocol used to maintain consistency throughout the network. Again, consider the scenarios. Ground floor, first floor, second floor, and you have connected the switches. Okay, and you are the network admin. Company asks you, we want VLAN 10 also, VLAN 20 also, VLAN 30 also, everything. You'll go on the second floor, configure VLAN 10, 20, 30. Go to the first floor, go to the ground floor, configure the same things. Okay, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30. Next day, company says, okay, now we require VLAN 40 also. What to do? Go and configure everywhere. Okay, now we do not require VLAN 20. Every switch you have to go. Now in the enterprises, you can imagine number of switches, right? If you are working in a big enterprise, the number of switches will be used. Okay, so in that case, going to each and every switch, removing, then again adding, removing, again adding, hectic task. So for this thing, we have the VLAN trunking protocol, that is VTP. This is not for the trunking actually. Okay, this is for synchronizing the VLAN database. Okay, so that let's say there will be a switch that will be acting as a server. In this switch, if you create VLAN 10, automatically created everywhere. If you create VLAN 20, automatically created in the other switches. If you create VLAN 30, automatically created everywhere. If you remove a VLAN, will be automatically given. So this is used to synchronize the VLAN database. Okay. So VTP is a Cisco proprietary protocol used to maintain consistency throughout the network, or user can say that synchronizing the VLAN information in the same VTP domain. Okay, there will be a domain, means again network or part of network. VTP allows you to add, delete, and rename VLANs, which is then propagated to other switches in the VTP domain. Okay, means you can add VLANs, delete VLANs, and rename the VLANs, and that same VLAN information will travel throughout the network, and other switches will take up that information and create their database. VTP advertisements can be sent over the 802.1 queue or ISL trunk link, means they can travel over the trunk links also. What is the requirement for VTP? First is VTP version must be same. Second requirement, there should be a VTP domain name configured and it should be same. Okay, and one of the switch must be acting as a server. And if you have applied authentication, then authentication should also match. Is that clear? These are the 4 requirements. Clear? Okay. Now, in case of your VTP, we have 3 modes or 3 roles, you can say. One is the server. Second is the transparent. And third is the client. These are the 3 modes. By default, all your switches are in the servers. By default, all your switches are in which mode? Server. Whenever a switch is in the server mode, a switch is able to create, edit, and delete VLANs. And that's why in the switches, by default, you are able to create the VLANs. Then we have another mode, client mode. After server, client mode. What is the client mode? In client mode, you cannot create, edit, or delete. Cannot create, edit, or delete. Means you cannot create the VLANs in case of your client mode. Then how they will come to know about the VLANs? The server will advertise. Whatever advertisements server will send, whatever information server will deliver about the VLANs, those information the clients will take, and according to that information only they will create or delete the VLANs. But In the switch itself, you cannot go and manually give the command VLAN 10 and create the VLANs. You cannot do that. Is that clear? Then what is the transparent mode? Now, let's say you work in a company, multiple switches. Now, everywhere the VLANs will be required, but there is some part of the network where you do not require the VLANs. Means, let's say this is HR, this is sales. So maybe these VLANs you do not require on the first floor. Only on the second and ground floor only you have the HR and sales. Correct? So what will happen? The VLAN information will travel here. Now this switch we do not require. Here we have, let's say, accounts department. So a different VLAN is required here, not these VLANs. So what we can do? We can use this as a transparent. So the VLAN information will pass through this switch, but this switch will not edit its own VLAN database according to the server. This is the thing. So the transparent switch will not edit its own VLAN database with the advertisement from the server, but it will just pass it to the clients. Just taking and passing, will not store the database. Okay. And inside the transparent switch, you can create. Okay. Inside the transparent, your transparent switch can create, edit, and delete local VLAN database. Means its own VLAN database. And it will not give this information to anyone, not to the server, not to the client. Okay. Kind of, you can say, we'll keep it secret. We'll keep it secret. This is clear, the rules, the server, transparent, and client. By default in the server mode. Okay. Then client will take up the advertisement from the server and will use it. Then after, your transparent will just take the advertisements and pass the advertisements, will not edit its database from the VLAN advertisements from the server. Okay. Your transparent switch can modify its own local VLAN database. Is that clear? And will keep it a secret only. Yes.
Sir, in server switch, if I add on interface to a separate VLAN.
Only VLANs will be created, the interface membership will not be assigned. Interface membership will not be assigned. You will have to go to each and every switch and assign the membership. Because not on all the switches, same interfaces will be connected. Let's say on the server switch on F0/1, you have connected VLAN 10 PC. So this is not mandatory that on the client switch also you will have the same port. Correct? So for this reason, your VLAN interface membership will not be assigned automatically. Only VLANs will be created, edited, and deleted. That's it. Okay. So VTP modes, server, client, and transparent. Server. The switches are set to this mode by default, and this mode allows you to create, add, and delete VLANs. The changes you want to make should be done in this mode only. And any changes that is done on this mode will be advertised to all the switches in the same VTP domain. Clear? What is the client mode? In this mode, the switches will receive an update and can also forward the update to other switches. They will receive the update from the server. Okay. The updates received here is not saved in the environment because they will keep on continuously changing. So they will be stored only in the RAM. So the updates received here, not saved in the environment. So the configuration will be deleted if the switch is reset or reloaded. That means the switches will only learn and pass the VTP summary advertisement to other switches. Okay. Your transparent switches, this mode only forward VTP summary advertisement through the trunk link. The transparent mode switch can make their local database and keep secret from other switches. The whole purpose of your transparent mode is to forward the VTP summary advertisements, but not to take part in the VLAN assignments. Okay. The transparent will take up the advertisement and forward it. That's it. Will not take part in the VTP advertisements. Okay, VLAN assignments. Clear? Let me show you with the practicalities.
Its own local database it will not send. Transparent.
Yeah. Transparent will not say.
It will client also forward to other things.
Yes, because if you might have more number of switches. Okay, so client will also forward. So let me these are the three switches. This one, I'll make it as a server. This one as a transparent. And this one as a client. Okay. Now, first of all, we have to perform trunking, correct? So by default, this is auto, 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 auto. So here I can use DTP to create trunk, correct? What I will do, I will go to this switch, the transparent switch, and I will just create these two ports as a desirable port. So one side desirable, one side auto, trunking will happen. One side desirable, one side auto, trunking will happen. So DTP practical will also happen here, correct? Let's go here, go to the switch, and I can select both the switches, I mean both the ports in the range. I can say interface, range, F0 by 1 till 2. And I can say switch port X. Okay, before this, you can see if I give the command show interface trunk. Is there any trunk interface? No. Okay. And now see, I'll say switch port mode dynamic desirable. Okay. And now you will see automatic trunking will happen. If I give the same command again, do show interface trunk. See here. The port F0 by 1, F0 by 2. What is the status? Which protocol? .1Q. What is the mode? See how many VLANs they are sending by default? All the VLANs. Okay. This is the VLANs because only VLAN 1 we have as of now. So VLAN 1 allowed. If you add more VLANs, more will be allowed. Is that clear? Okay. So if you see right now, automatically the trunking has happened. On server switch, I did not do anything.
No.
Check if I give the command. Show interface trunk. See, F0 by 1 in the auto mode and status is what? So automatically, this is how your DTP works, dynamic trunking. Otherwise, usually I had to go here also switch port mode trunk, switch port mode trunk, switch port mode trunk, switch port mode trunk. 4 times I had to give the commands. With the help of DTP, I just gave one command and all the trunking happened. Okay. All right. Now let's come to the VTP. Check. By default, show VTP status. This switch is capable of running VTP version 1 and 2. And right now it is running which version? 1. What is the domain name? Nothing. By default, not configured. What is the by default operating mode here?
Server.
Server. Correct? Okay. Now see. By default, all the switches will be in the server mode. Okay. So what you can do? Let's say this is the transparent switch. This is already server, right? This is the transparent. Let's come to the transparent switch. Okay. And give the command See, VTP commands are very small. All you have to say VTP mode transparent. Very small comments, 3 words last. Okay, VTP mode transparent. This is client. Same thing, VTP mode client. VTP mode client. Okay. Configure the domain name. Okay. If you configure the domain name here, how we are going to configure? VTP domain, let's say cisco.com. Done. Same thing you can check here to show VTP status. So right now there is no domain name. Configure it. VTP domain cisco.com. Done. Configure on the client also. VTP domain cisco.com. Okay. Done. Configured, right? Okay. Now see, they are in the same domain. Let's make them a version 2 because right now they are running version 1. Let's make them version 2. VTP version 2. VTP version 2. VTP version 2. Do you see? Do show VTP status. See. So what it is saying, we cannot modify the version in client mode. Okay.
It will automatically observe from server.
Yes. That's why you see, if you see when I gave the command VTP domain cisco.com, what it said? Because the advertisements taken from the server. The advertisements were taken from the server. Okay. Now let's go and see things. If you see here on the server, to show VLAN brief. How many VLANs? Default, whatever present by default. Let's go to the client. Do show VLAN brief. Same thing. Let's check the transparent also. Do show VLAN default. Now let's go to the server and create VLANs. VLAN 10. Let's go to the client. Okay, first transparent. Is it created? No. Let's check on the client. Correct. Go to the server. VLAN 20. VLAN 30. VLAN 40. Go to the client. Correct. Go to the server. No VLAN 20 or 30. And no VLAN 20. Only 10 and 40. Which VLAN I removed?
Only 30.
Again 30 only. See, instantly taking effect. Okay, this is clear. So now this is how you are going to synchronize, and no changes will take place on your transparent. Okay. And if you create here, let's say VLAN 50, VLAN 60, check. Created. These VLANs will not come anywhere. Not on the server, not on the client. See, they will not affect the server or client. This is clear. Okay. Now, what is the problem with the VTP? The problem with VTP is that in case if by mistake, let's say you want to add a switch in the network. What do you want to do? You want to add a switch in the network. Correct? Now what happened? By default, this was the old switch in your company, which was acting in the server mode for a long time. Correct? So now what is going to happen? If you connect this switch to VLAN, and if, see, in the server, there is something called as revision number. See, show VTP status. There is something called as configuration revision number. Okay. What is this configuration revision number? This configuration revision number tells how many times the configuration has been modified. So in this server, 7 times modified. Okay. But if you consider, let's say your old switch was working for a long time and multiple manipulations were done. Okay. So what will happen? If you add that switch in your network by mistake, and you didn't see that it is acting as a server, is in the same domain and everything, what will happen? Your clients as well as your server will take the advertisements from the server who is having the high revision number. So in the server, there will be no VLANs or maybe some different set of VLANs is present. So your entire network VLANs will wipe out. Your entire network VLANs will wipe out instantly, even in the server also. Okay. So right now, see, what is the revision number here? 7. Okay, let me go and change the revision number. So what I'll do here, first of all, let me create some VLANs, or let me check do show VLAN P. Okay, we already have 10 and 40 sufficient. So here configuration revision number is 7. And let's say this is my old switch and has the configuration revision number high. And before that, let me do one thing. VTP version 2, VTP domain cisco.com. Okay. And then let me create the VLANs. So VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, VLAN 40, VLAN 50, VLAN 60, VLAN 70, no VLAN 10, no VLAN 20. See, I'm just adding and removing because this will increase the configuration revision number. Done. Check. Do show VTP status. I added 7 VLANs, removed 7 VLANs. So total 14 times the configuration was changed. So the configuration revision number is 40. Okay. And let's say the port we will connect is a trunk port. So interface F0 by 1 switch port mode dynamic desirable. Now, if by mistake I connect this switch in my network anywhere, doesn't matter transparent server or client, anywhere I connect. Okay. So as of now, you'll see that, okay, I have the VLANs here. Correct? In the server, as well as in the client also I have. Correct? Now see, if I connect it. Connect it, check. Gone. Client. From where they are taking the advertisements? From this switch. So a slight mistake, entire network down. Security gone. Okay. So for this purpose, we always avoid using VTP. Okay. Or else, if you want to add a switch in the network, okay, want to use VTP also. In that case, make sure the configuration revision number is set to 0. And how the configuration revision number will set to 0? One command, VTP mode transparent. Do show VTP status. So whatever configuration, or if you want to deploy a switch, just deploy it in transparent mode.
Transparent mode, revision number can always be 0.
Automatically set to 0. Or not always. If you change the configuration, there will be change. But when the switch is in the transparent mode, it does not advertise that any configuration or anything. It is keeping it as a secret.
But this old switch configuration would be applied in all the cities. This old switch configuration.
Yes.
VLAN
Will be yes. Yes. So as of now, you have some new VLANs, but your old VLANs will come across your network. Okay. But what will be the disadvantage? All your ports membership will go down. Why? Because they will have the configuration, but the VLAN is not present. Okay. So your entire network will become unstable. Okay. Clear? So if you want to deploy it in transparent mode. Clear?